Good morning, folks. Please make sure your audio is on mute until I call your name.
Hello?
Please make sure your audio is on
I can't
mute
hear.
until I call your name.
Morning, everybody.
Folks, please make sure your audio is on mute until I call your name. I see a lot of folks who are not on mute. I'm not going to get started until everyone is on mute, because that creates audio feedback on this end. So please put your audio on mute. Okay. All right, good morning, everyone, and welcome to Traffic Court. All right, this is a pretrial docket, and I want to explain what that means with an emphasis on pre. This is not your trial. This is not a hearing. You'll notice that the police officer who wrote your ticket is not present. And so I'm not here to determine whether you are guilty or not guilty of the infraction. The purpose of the hearing today is for me to make you an offer so that you might be able to resolve your case without the need to return on another date for a hearing. So when I call your name, I will make you the offer, and then you can simply accept that offer or not. Of course, you don't have to accept it if you don't want to accept it. If you choose not to accept it, then we will give you another date for a hearing. At that hearing, the officer will be present. The officer will testify to the judge. You will have the opportunity to testify, tell your side of the story to the judge. And then the judge will decide whether you're guilty of the infraction or not. If the judge decides you're not guilty, obviously the case is resolved. If the judge decides that you are guilty of the infraction, then the presiding judge at your hearing will determine or decide what sentence to impose. That sentence may be the same as the offer I'm about to make to you. It may be better for you. In some cases, it might be worse. But that's a hearing. This is not a hearing. So again, I'll call your name, I'll give you the offer, and you simply tell me if you want to accept it or not. When I make you an offer, let me explain a couple of things to all of you at once. The offer would likely include court costs, and court costs are typically $103. So for example, what if your offer includes a fine of $150 and costs? That would be $150 plus $103 for a total of $253. If you accept the offer, you have 30 days to contact the clerk to either pay that in full or to enter into a payment plan. You can pay monthly if you want more than 30 days to pay, but you have to contact the Collier County Clerk of Courts within 30 days to set up that payment plan. Your offer might also include driving school, a 4-hour course, 8-hour course, or a 12-hour course. The driving school may be done online. That is not in person. That's something you do online. And then you would provide your certificate of completion to his date if you decide to accept the offer. Is Caroline? Ms. Beelan, I see you.
Yes, I'm here. Having trouble hearing you now.
All right.
You seem to be going in and out a little bit.
Is that?
I wasn't earlier. It was fine earlier, but now it's yeah. Hello?
Madam Clerk, can you hear me?
I can hear you now.
Okay,
Judge.
now I can hear you. Yeah.
All right. And I guess I'm having a problem on my end with my internet connection. I just dropped the meeting, but now it's
Okay,
back,
there
but I
you.
can't see anybody. Ms.
Okay.
Beelan, can you hear me?
I hear you,
And can
and
you?
yeah, I can see you. Can't see you at this moment, but you're going in and out, but I can hear you fine.
Okay, so as long as we can speak with one another, that's what counts. You are here on a careless driving. I see that you entered a conditional plea of no contest. The offer, if you want to accept it, Ms. Beelan, can you hear me?
Yes, I can. I had said I was not guilty. Oh,
Madam Clerk, can you hear me?
I can hear you now, Judge.
right, I can hear
See
you
me?
now.
You can probably try to call into the Zoom meeting.
I'm sorry, I don't know who's speaking. Ms. Beelan, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you, but I can't see you.
Madam Clerk, can you hear? Right. Well, so you're charged with careless driving, Ms. Beelan. The offer for you is a withhold of adjudication. That means I would withhold the conviction. There's no points on your record. You would be ordered to pay a $100 fine plus court costs.
Yes, so there's no points, and yes, I would accept that. Are you there?
Ms. Beelan, I'm here. My Zoom meeting keeps getting dropped.
I know. I can
I
hear
guess
you.
that's
Can you
my-
hear me? Yeah. Can you hear me now?
I can hear you. Yes, ma'am.
Okay, I just
Yes.
want to understand what that means because yes, I did hear the offer you said in a withholding of any finding and a $100 fee plus the ticket amount. Was that it?
No, not the ticket amount. This is instead of the ticket amount. So you don't pay both. It's a $100.
Yes, and the no points. And if you can hear me, my only question is, so what gets reported to Georgia is the state of Georgia, where my primary residence, just nothing gets reported to Georgia, but I do accept the offer.
All right. So it's
Not sure if you can hear me.
withhold 100 plus cost. Did you hear me? Did you hear me explain
Yes,
that this is
withhold
instead
100
of the ticket,
plus.
not in addition to it?
Yes, I did hear that, not in addition to. And the only thing I did have that question, so there's no points, there's nothing that goes on my driving record then, correct?
To come to 1D as quickly as possible. My internet keeps dropping. 2B, yeah. Thank you. Bye. Your iPod.
Judge, can you hear me now, or? There you are.
Ms. Beelan, I need you to. I've got some IT folks coming to the courtroom to try to fix this. This is something that has not happened to me before, where my internet keeps dropping. Were you able to hear your offer?
Yes, I believe I was, and I thank you for that offer, and I accept that offer. I just wanted to clarify, when you say no points, that means it does not go on my record in Georgia.
Well, I don't know what will happen in Georgia. The ticket will show up on your record, but it will show up as a withhold with 0 points, no points.
Okay, I accept that offer and I appreciate it.
All right, yes, ma'am, thank you, and you are free to sign off.
Okay, thank you. And so I just
Thank you.
wait until, or I'll call the courthouse then.
Right, don't wait. You need to contact the clerk right away to pay or enter into a payment plan.
Okay, I will do that. Thank you, sir.
Very good, thank you. Have a good day.
Too.
Madam Clerk, can you hear me?
Yes, I can.
Did you get that offer and acceptance?
I did. Thank you.
All right. Morano Charleston, can you hear me? How about Orrin Jackson?
Yes, Your Honor.
Mr. Jackson, are you Galaxy S9?
Yes, sir.
All right, you're here on, did you hear me explain everything at the beginning about how you have to contact the clerk within 30 days?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, so the offer for you on this speeding ticket is a withhold of adjudication, $250 fine plus costs, and a 4-hour course, which you do online. Do you understand all of that?
Yes, Your Honor.
So
There's
you
no
can
way you
accept
can-
that or not?
There's no way you can waive the course, Your Honor.
No. But you don't have to accept the offer. Would you rather have a hearing?
No, I'll take it.
You accept the offer?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, thank you, sir. Contact the clerk right away. And you
All
are
righty,
free to
thank you.
sign off. Thank you, Mr. Jackson. All right, bye-bye. Okay, Patrick Murphy, are you here?
Yes, sir. Here I am.
Mr. Murphy, are you Seal and Pat?
Yes.
All right, Mr. Murphy, the offer for you is a withhold of adjudication, which means no conviction, no points, a $60 fine plus court costs. What would you like to do?
What are court costs? Do you know?
103. So the total is $163.
Oh, that's what it was originally when I challenged it.
Exactly.
Oh,
What would you like to do?
I guess I have to accept it. You got me over the barrel. Thank you.
You don't have to. Hold on a second, Mr. Murphy. You don't have to accept it. Remember, I explained earlier, you can go to a trial if you'd rather have a hearing.
How do I go to a trial?
You just say, no, thanks. I'd like a hearing. And then we'll
All
give you
right, I
another
appreciate
date.
you. I'm going to say no thanks. I'll accept the trial, and
All
we'll
right,
get-
you're here. Okay. Let me give you the date. Your hearing is May 19th at 1:30 in the afternoon via Zoom.
May 19th, 1:30.
Yes, sir. It seems to
PM.
work okay now. Yeah.
1:30 p.m. That's
Correct.
it. Yeah, you're coming through better right now.
Okay, very good. Thank you for the update. So
Um,
that's your hearing date, Mr. Murphy, and you are free to sign off.
Did they get in touch with me on this?
Yes, sir.
Or they'll get in touch with me. All right. Thanks, Judge. Have a good day.
All right, yes, sir. You as well. Thank you. All right, Jack Price, are you here? Jack Price? Joshua Rowand?
Good morning, Judge.
Who's this? Is this Mr. Rowand?
Yes, it is.
All right, good morning to you, Mr. Rowand. Your offer is a withhold of adjudication, $60 plus costs.
I will accept that, sir.
All right, and do you understand, or you heard me explain earlier, that you need to contact the clerk right away, okay?
Fully. My main concern with all of it was having points on my license with everything involved. But if that all is being held, I have a problem with fine. So 103 plus, what was it?
60 plus
Plus-
60.
163. Thank you, sir. You have a wonderful day, and I will contact the clerk when I get off the phone with you.
All right, very good. Thank you, Mr. Rowan. Good luck to you.
Sir, you have a great one.
You as
Your
well.
Honor, you called Jack Price, but you guys muted me and I couldn't talk to you.
Where are you? Mr. Price. Okay,
Yes.
Mr. Price. Were you able to hear me earlier when I explained the 30 days to contact the clerk?
I did, Your
All
Honor.
right, your offer is, all right, your offer is a withhold of adjudication, $50 plus costs.
All right, Your Honor, the questions that I want to have is, I own a moving company and I don't want any points or this to be on my record. So what does that mean, adjudication?
Well, it's an adjudication withheld. That means no points. So you won't get any points. Now, when you say you don't want this on your record, let's say you come back to see me in a year on another ticket. I can pull up your record and I will see this incident, but it will show up as no points. So it doesn't disappear. It will be there, but no points.
Correct. I just have a really tough situation with the moving company, insurance, driving the trucks and so forth. So I don't want anything because I do have a legitimate, honest case to bring forward to you guys today. So I know today wasn't the day to bring it. I thought it was going to be. So in that case, I would like to not accept that offer.
All right,
Is
that's
there-
fine.
and there's
Your hearing
no-
date then?
There's nothing that I can show you today that would allow you to give me a verdict of guilty or not guilty?
Correct. Because the other side's not present. Just like if I had the officer on,
You're breaking up again. We lost the judge.
Mr. Price, can you hear me?
I can hear you now. You went off and back on again.
Yeah, I keep dropping. Give me 1 second, Mr. Price. Nick, I think Rich might have been calling Larry off. I still need help. Yeah, my internet connection is terrible. Thank you. Mr. Price, no, sir, I can't find you guilty or not guilty today. But you certainly don't have to accept the offer. It sounds like you prefer a hearing. Is that right?
Yes, sir.
All right. So your hearing is May 19th at 1:30. That will be on Zoom, and the officer will also be present.
May
Okay.
19th at 1:30.
Yes, sir.
All right, thank you. You have a blessed day.
You as well. Thank you.
Thank you.
Jeffrey Schusler. Madam Clerk, are you getting all
Present, Your
of
Honor.
this?
I am, Your Honor. Thank
Present, Your
All right, thank you. Mr. Schusler, you're here on a speeding ticket. Were you able to hear me at the beginning of the docket explain the 30 days?
Yes.
All right, your offer is a withhold of adjudication, $200 fine plus costs.
No
What
points.
would you like to do?
No points, Your Honor.
I think no points.
And no points, no school. Then I'll agree. Yes.
Okay, so ordered. Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
All right, Zachary Smith.
Yes, sir.
Mr. Smith, you're here on a traffic control device. Your offer is a withhold of adjudication, $100 fine plus cost and a 4-hour course.
Okay, I can accept that.
I interdropped them about 6 times. Mr. Smith, you said yes, right?
Correct.
Any questions about the offer or what you need to do?
When I go to do the traffic course, where would I go for that? Because I'm in Lee County.
You do it online. And so when you contact the clerk, what you're going to do right away to make a payment plan, ask them and they'll tell you how to find them online. There are a number of different options online.
Okay.
And you can ask the clerk which ones are acceptable, okay?
Okay.
All right. Thank you, Mr. Smith. Good luck to you.
Thank you.
All right. Yes, sir. Marie Vaughn. Are you here, Marie Vaughn? How about Lawrence Zanus?
Yes, Your Honor, I'm here. Good morning.
All right, good morning, sir. Have you been able to hear me so
Yes.
far?
Yes.
All right, and so you understand your options in 30 days as I explained earlier?
Yes.
All right, your offer is a withhold of adjudication, $60 fine plus costs.
I accept that.
Okay, so ordered. That's it. You're free to go. Thank you, sir. Have a
Okay.
good day.
Your Honor, one thing. So $60 fine plus the cost are 103. Is that right?
Correct. Yes, sir.
103 plus 60. Thank you, sir. Good day.
All right, you as well. Thank you. Dennis Zaslavsky.
Hi. Hello. This is Dennis.
Sir, I see Mr. Zaslavsky. Can you unmute, please?
Unmuted.
All right, sir, have you been able to hear me so far this morning?
Yes, sir. Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, your offer is a withhold of adjudication, $50 fine plus costs.
Okay, I accept. Can I just get the contact number for the clerk? Because
I don't have that. I don't have that, but all you have to do is Google Collier County Clerk of Courts.
Okay, no problem.
Okay, that's it. Thank you, sir. Have a good day.
Thank you.
All right. Okay.
Excuse me, Judge. My name's Alexia Smith.
I'll be with you. Yes. Give me just a minute, please. I see you here.
Sorry.
Madam Clerk, did you hear everyone that we just addressed on the 9 o'clock docket?
I did.
We've got 1, 2, 3 people also left on the 9 o'clock docket who aren't here. These two ladies are both here for the 9:30 docket, starting with Visa Ebro. Actually, yeah, 9:30. Miss Ebro, can you hear me?
Yes, Your Honor, I can hear you.
All right, you are here on the 9:30 docket. Your citation was for driving on a suspended license. When I checked yesterday, I noticed that you fixed that problem. Your license is now valid. Is that still true?
Yes, it is.
All right, Madam Clerk, 21 TR 6765 is dismissed. So this ticket is over. The case is over. You're free to go. Thank you, ma'am.
So I don't have to pay anything because this is the first time, Your Honor, and I have no idea what. So I don't have
to pay
anything to do. Do I have to contact the clerk or?
No, it's done.
What about my license points?
You don't get any points. You don't have to pay anything. You don't have to call anybody. Just keep your license.
So everything is resolved?
It's
oh my
resolved.
God. Okay, thank you so much.
You're welcome. Have a good day.
Have a
Thank
great
you.
day.
You
So
too.
am I dismissed? Can I?
Yes.
Okay, thank you.
All right. Have a good day. Miss Smith is also here on the 9:30 docket for a speeding ticket. Miss Smith, were you able to hear everything I explained earlier?
Yes, I did, Your Honor.
So you understand I'm going to make you an offer. You can accept it or not, right?
Yes.
Your offer is a withhold of adjudication, $200 fine plus court costs.
Yes, I accept.
Okay, so ordered. Thank you, Miss Smith. Have a good day.
Thank you.
Yes, ma'am. Okay, Madam Clerk, we are out of people, but I do have Larry and Edgar here, thankfully. Of course, you guys walk in, I haven't had the problem yet. I was hoping you could see it, but I actually dropped my internet connection at least a half dozen times in the middle of the docket. Like it completely went, I lost it and then it would come back. I have no idea why that is. Is there anything that, do I just hope it doesn't happen or? I did start it in here. I don't know if that makes sense. I powered it up in here. That's good. The other option, believe it or not, is looking the laptop, moving into a different spot, maybe it might pick up the same. Oh, like over there or something. Now there is another option, another alternative is swap roles. Use the desktop machine as your service training with one of you guys to show me how to use that. I think I have one on my desk. I've never used it. I have no idea how to. I don't need to do that right now because it seems to be okay. But maybe we'll do that another day. Okay, well, I'll just keep my fingers crossed and hope this continues to work. Okay, thank you. Madam Clerk, can you hear me?
Yes, I can.
One of our individuals on the 9 o'clock docket has filed a conditional plea. Let's call that one up here in just a second. That is Marie Vaughn. Marie Vaughn actually filed an affidavit of defense pleading not guilty. So let's set that case off for the hearing docket, May 19th, please.
Okay, sounds good.
And that leaves us with 2 individuals. I'd like to come back to them. Let's see if they show up. Maybe we'll have a break after our 9:30 docket and see if they show up before then. So it's just 9:29. I'm going to wait until 9:30.
Okay.
And then see who else shows up. We only have 3 folks in the waiting room, but I prefer to make my opening remarks once. So let's see if anyone else joins us.
All right, sounds good.
Actually, you know what we need to do is it possible for you to switch over to your 1:30 docket? I've got an attorney there who wants me to call. They want to resolve the case this morning.
Yeah, I could do that.
All right, you let me know when you're ready.
Okay, I'm ready.
So I'm going to make this call. I know that you won't be able to hear the defense attorney, but I'll make sure to repeat everything so that you know what's happening, okay?
Perfect.
And this is on Nicholas Novella, N-O-V, Novella, 21 TR 500.
Got it.
Good morning, Mr. Nunez. This is Rob Crown calling from Traffic Court. How are you today?
Good morning, Judge. I'm good. How are you?
I am fine, thank you. You have one case today. That's Nicholas Novella. Would you like to hear an offer in that case?
I would, Judge. Thank you for taking me.
Sure. The offer is a withhold of adjudication, $200 fine plus costs.
That'd be fine, Judge.
So, Madam Clerk, just to make sure the counsel, Mr. Nunez, accepted the offer on behalf of Mr. Novella. Your client has 30 days to either pay or enter into a payment plan, but he's got to contact the clerk within 30 days.
Very good. Thank you, Judge.
All right. Thank you. Have a good day.
You too.
Bye. Bye. Okay, so now I will admit the 5 people who are in the waiting room. Folks, please make sure your audio is on mute until I call your name. Please put your audio on mute.
All right.
I've got one other person connecting. Once everybody is in the meeting, we will begin. Andrea, I just took a plea from my 1:30 docket on Novella, N-O-V-E-L-L-O. Can you let maybe the liaison know that if that is the officer's only case, the officer does not need to be present this afternoon at 1:30? I do. It is 21 TR 500. Thank you. Bye-bye. All right, it looks like one person is still trying to connect. So let me just make some remarks. First of all, this is a pretrial docket. And what that means is this is a pre-trial. This is not your trial. This is not a hearing. The purpose of our docket this morning is not for me to decide whether you're guilty or not guilty. That's not the point of the hearing. The point of the hearing today is simply for me to make you an offer, which you can either accept or not. You certainly don't have to accept the offer if you don't want to. If you do accept the offer, it's just a way for you to resolve your case without having to come back for a hearing. When I make you an offer, the offer will likely include court costs. Court costs equal $103. So, for example, if your offer is a fine of $150 plus court costs in the amount of $103, then the total amount would be $253. If you accept the offer, you would have to contact the Collier County Clerk of Courts within 30 days to either pay that off in full or enter into a payment plan. You want more than 30 days to pay, then that's perfectly fine, but you need to set up that payment plan right away with the Collier County Clerk of Courts. Your offer might also include a driver improvement course, driving school. That is done online. That is not done in person. That's something you can do online. When you contact the clerk, they can tell you what school you can attend online. But again, remember, you don't have to accept the offer if you don't want to. Mrs. Orange, good morning. You can unmute.
Me?
Mrs. Orange? Madam Clerk, can you hear me?
I can, Your Honor.
All right. Mrs. Orange, can you hear me? I can't hear you. I'm going to come back to you. How about Manny Suarez?
Your Honor, good morning. How are you?
I am fine, thank you. How are you today?
I can't complain. I'm alive, sir.
All right, and that's right, Mr. Suarez. Your offer is a withhold of adjudication, which means no points. You would have to pay a $150 fine plus court costs. Do you understand that?
Yes, sir.
What would you like to do, sir?
Take that offer, sir. You mean
All
that?
right.
You means let me just make sure I understand you.
Okay.
Withhold on the points means that no points are gonna go to my license. All I have to do is pay the court costs and what else, sir?
A $150 fine, and you are correct. No points on your license.
Man, I can't ask anything better than that.
Okay. Well, I'm glad that you're happy about that and you accept then, right?
Thank you, sir. I appreciate that.
All right. Yes, sir. All right. Yes, sir. Thank you and have a good day. Contact the clerk.
So now I have 30 days to take care of it. I have to go to court and either pay the 150 plus a 103 for court costs, which will be $253, pay it in full or make arrangement to pay that amount of money. Is that correct?
Exactly. Yes, sir.
You're awesome. Thank you, sir. Can I get off from the Zoom meeting?
You are free to go. Have a good day, sir.
Your Honor, be safe, be well. Clerk court, be well, be safe.
All right. You too. Thank you, sir.
Yes, sir.
All right. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Okay. It looks like Techler's iPhone. And I think you are Mr. Hilaire, right?
Yes, sir.
All right. Good morning.
How you doing?
I'm all right. Thank you, sir. Your offer is an adjudication of guilt, which means you would get points if you accept this offer. You would have to pay a fine of $300 plus court costs.
Okay, sir.
Do you understand your options?
Yeah.
You can accept or not. What would you like to do?
Yeah, I accept.
You accept.
Yes,
okay,
sir.
then that's it, Mr. Hilaire. Just make sure you contact the clerk right away, okay?
All right.
All right. Thank you, sir. Have a good day.
Thank you. Have a good one. You too.
All right. Thank you. Bye-bye.
All right.
All right, Madam Clerk, we've got some other folks I'll admit now.
Okay.
Folks, please make sure your audio is on mute until I call your name. please make sure your audio is on mute. And I will begin as soon as everyone is connected.
Hello?
Good morning. I'll be with you in just a minute, please. I'm just waiting for everyone to connect.
Yes, sir.
All right, I've got a couple of folks here. It looks like they may be having some difficulty connecting to audio. So we'll get started and hopefully that issue can be resolved.
Yes, sir.
This is a pre-trial docket, okay? And so this is not your trial on a traffic ticket. This is pre-trial. So I'm not here to determine if any of you are guilty or not guilty of the ticket. That's not the point of the hearing. The point of the hearing this morning is for me to make each of you an offer so that you have an opportunity to resolve your case without having to come back for a hearing. If you choose to go to a hearing, then we'll give you another court date. The officer who wrote the ticket will be present. You'll be present. You'll both have an opportunity to tell your side of the story to the presiding judge, and the presiding judge will determine whether you're guilty or not guilty of the ticket. If the judge decides that you're not guilty of the ticket, then obviously the case is over. If the judge decides you are guilty of the ticket, then the judge will determine what sentence to impose. That sentence may be exactly the same as the offer I'm about to make to you today. It may be better for you, and in some cases, it might be worse for you. That depends on the evidence that comes out during the trial. So that's if you select a trial. If you choose to accept the offer, your offer will likely include court costs. I think it's important for you to know how much that is. Court costs equal $103. So let me give you an example. If I make an offer that includes a fine in the amount of $150 plus costs of $103, then the total is $253. And you would, if you accept, you would have to contact the Collier County Clerk of Courts within 30 days of today's date to either pay that off in full or enter into a payment plan. If you would prefer to make monthly payments, that's perfectly fine, but you have to call the clerk right away within 30 days to set up that payment plan. Your offer might also include driving school, 4 hours, 8 hours, or 12 hours. If you are ordered to attend driving school, that is something you do online. You do not do that in person, it's on the computer. And you would have to do that and complete that within 30 days of today's date. Okay, so I've got someone here listed as 308625. Sir, what is your name, please?
My name is Foster Pierre Charles Jr.
Foster, your last name again, please?
Pierre Charles.
Pierre Charles. Okay, you're actually on the 10 o'clock docket. Madam Clerk, do you see Mr. Pierre Charles?
I do. Thank you.
All right, Mr. Pierre Charles, did you hear everything I've explained so far?
Yes, sir.
Your offer is an adjudication of guilt, which means you would get points if you accept this offer. You would be ordered to pay a $300 fine plus court costs and attend a 4-hour course. So you can either accept or we can set it for hearing. Completely up to you.
Say again, please, when you said like points, what do you mean by points?
You get points, you would get 4 points on your driving record. Would you prefer to set it for a hearing?
I'm guessing I'll take the deal.
You want to accept the offer?
Yes, sir.
All right, do you have any other questions for me?
No, my only question is for my other court date on the 8th, does this count as or do I still have to go to court on the 8th?
I don't know what other court date you're talking about. Madam Clerk, do you show any other court dates for Mr. Pierre Charles?
I'm looking right now, Judge.
Okay. Do you have another case, or do you think it's on this case?
I think it's on this case, but it says for the 8th, I'm correct.
I'm sorry, I can't see that, but Madam Clerk is looking into it. She'll be able to tell you in just a minute.
I'm not showing any other date for this case.
And this case is for like 2 tickets, correct?
This is just a speeding ticket.
Oh, all right.
Madam
So-
Clerk, can you search by his name to see if he's got any other case pending?
Yes, just give me 1 second. Sorry. Okay, sorry it took so long. My computer got a little wonky.
That's okay.
We have a second case. It's a misdemeanor ticket though.
All right, so what does he have on the 8th?
It is a misdemeanor arraignment.
All right, do you show if he has counsel?
No, I do not.
Okay, so Mr. Pierre Charles, yes, you do still have court on the 8th. That's for a criminal charge. This is a traffic infraction. This is a non-criminal traffic infraction for speeding. So what we just did does not resolve the criminal case. You still have to show up on April the 8th for your arraignment.
All right.
Do you understand that? Do you
Yeah.
plan to do you plan to get a lawyer to help you in that case, or are you going to handle it yourself?
I do not know.
Okay. You understand that you could apply for a public defender, or you could hire a private lawyer. Those are both options for you. If
I'll
you
take a public defender.
Okay, I can't do that for you right now, but if that's what you want to do, you should come into the courthouse before the 8th. We are open. You can physically come into the courthouse and ask somebody, where do I go to apply for a public defender? And you'll go up to a counter, and they'll give you a form, and you fill out that form, and then you give it back to them, and they'll tell you right away whether you qualify for the public defender. And then you can go up to visit the public defender. You should do those things before your court date.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so this resolves the traffic ticket, and you know that what you need to do on the criminal case, right?
Not that. All I know is that I have to go to court. I don't know anything else.
Well, I just explained to you about coming to court, about applying for a public defender. I want you to do that as well as come to court on the 8th, okay?
All right, and then also my last question is, would I be able to know the judge that I have to go to on the 8th, or?
Madam Clerk, do you recall that, who the judge is handling arraignments?
Judge Adams.
Right now, it looks like it'll be Judge Adams presiding at your arraignment docket. That doesn't mean he'll be your judge on that case. He's just covering that particular docket.
Yes, sir.
Okay, that's it, Mr. Pierre Charles. You're free to go. Thank you, sir, and have a good day.
You too, sir.
Thank you. All right, I've got someone on a telephone number here ending in 2994.
That's me.
Who is that?
I'm Nathan Bernard.
Is that your number, 2994?
239-298-2994, yes.
Okay, looks like you're logged in twice, maybe. I can see you in one. I've got 2 boxes. Mr. Bernard.
Yeah, I'm right at my laptop.
Okay, that's okay. You're here. That's what counts. Okay, Mr. Bernard, Madam Clerk, he's on the 9 o'clock docket. This is a DL not carried. Mr. Bernard, I checked your driving record yesterday. I know you have a valid driver's license. You may not have had it with you on that day, but you understand now that you've got to keep that with you at all times, right?
Yes, sir.
Case is dismissed. You're free to sign off.
Thank you, sir.
Yes, sir. Have a good day.
You too.
Thank you. Mr. Ortiz, can you hear me? We have Jorge Ortiz Martinez. Looks like he is here, but connecting. Mr. Ortiz, can you hear me, sir? Mr. Messersmith, can you hear me? Ryu Messersmith? Mrs. Orange, can you hear me?
Yes, Judge, can you hear me?
Okay, I can hear you. Good morning.
Sorry about that. I had to log out and log back in.
Yeah, that's okay. Who do you have today?
I have Murano Charleston, 21 TR 6823.
All right, Madam Clerk, on the 9 o'clock docket, Mr. Charleston, and would you like me to make you an offer?
Sure, let's hear it, Your Honor. I think we're going to set it for hearing, though. It's my client's request.
Okay,
What offer did you have?
The offer is a withhold 200 plus costs.
We'll set it for hearing, Your Honor.
The hearing is May 19th at 1:30. Just make sure your client knows that the presiding judge is not obligated to impose the offer I just articulated. Of course, the offer would be based on the evidence that comes out during the course of the trial.
Thank you, Your Honor.
519-130. Thank you, Mrs. Orange. Okay, Mr. Messersmith, can you hear me, sir?
Yes, sir.
All right, you are here for a speeding ticket. This is a pre-trial docket, emphasis on pre. This is not your trial. This is not a final evidentiary hearing. The purpose is not for me to determine whether you're guilty or not guilty. You'll notice the officer who wrote the ticket is not here. So that won't be happening today. The purpose of today's hearing is simply for me to make you an offer, which you can accept or not. So it's an opportunity to resolve your case without the need to come back for a hearing. So I will make you an offer. You can accept it or not. I'll answer any questions you might have about it. This is a speeding ticket. The offer for you is a withhold of adjudication. That means you would not receive any points on your record. You would be ordered to pay a $200 fine plus court costs. Court costs equal 103. So the total monetary obligation for you is 303. If you accept the offer, you would have to contact the Collier County Clerk of Courts within 30 days to do one of two things: either pay that in full or enter into a payment plan. Either way, you've got to do that within 30 days of today's date if you accept the offer. Now, any questions about any of that I've just explained?
So the 303, that is a withhold, and I don't have to attend traffic school?
No school, no points.
Okay, I'll take the offer.
And you'll contact the clerk right away?
I have to go in person, or can I contact them by phone? Or?
Madam Clerk, can he make a phone call to either pay that or set up a payment plan?
I believe to set up a payment plan, he might have to come in person, but
Okay.
I would definitely call first just to clarify.
Yeah, call and ask for traffic. Ask for someone in the traffic. I don't have a phone number, but just Google Collier Clerk of Courts.
Okay. Okay, I'll accept the offer. And 30 days, you said, from today?
Yes, sir.
All righty.
Okay, so ordered. Thank you, sir. Have a good day.
Thank you.
Yes, sir.
Take care.
All right, you as well.
How do I get
Mr. Ortiz, can you hear me? Mr. Ortiz. Looks like he's still trying to connect. Mr. Messersmith is free to sign off there, sir, if you can do that, or you can hang out with us, whatever. Mr. Ortiz, no. Okay, Madam Clerk, so there is currently no one else in the waiting room. I think Mr. Ortiz might have to hang up and log back in. So we will be in a recess until 10 o'clock, okay? I'm not going to go anywhere, but I'm going to put on the, I'm going to stop my video and put us on mute for the next 8 minutes, okay?
Sounds good.
All right, talk to you then, thanks.
Thanks.
Hello?
Good morning. Please make sure your audio is on mute until I call your case.
Okay.
And I'll get started once everyone is connected.
Hello? Trying to make sure how I do that.
I got it. I'll do it. I've got one other person attempting to connect. Once that's done, I'll make some preliminary remarks and then I'll start calling your cases. Well, maybe there are some problems. So let's get started. It looks like I've got 3 of you who are connected. This is traffic court. This is a pre-trial docket. And what that means, it means this is not your trial docket. This is not a final hearing on your traffic ticket. So I will not be determining today whether you're guilty or not guilty. That's not the point of the hearing. You'll notice that the police officer who wrote your ticket is not present. And so I wanted to clarify that so you understand I won't be making that decision today. The point of the hearing today, the point of the hearing today is for me to make you an offer, and then you can accept that offer or not. If you choose to accept the offer, then this is just an opportunity for you to resolve your traffic ticket without coming back for a hearing. If you accept the offer, then your offer may include a fine. Let's say, for example, $150. Your offer may also include court costs. It's important for you to understand the amount of court costs, and that equals $103, 103. So, for example, if your offer is $150 fine plus costs of 103, that's a total of $253. If you choose to accept the offer, then you would have to contact the Collier County Clerk of Courts within 30 days to do one of 2 things. Either pay that off in its entirety or enter into a payment plan if you want more time to pay. If you want to have a monthly payment plan, that's perfectly fine, but you need to contact the Clerk of Courts right away, no later than 30 days from today's date, to set up that payment plan. Your offer may also include traffic school, 4 hours, 8 hours, 12 hours. Traffic school is something you do online. That is not in person. That is something you do online. If you accept the offer, you would be required to do that within 30 days of today's date and provide proof of completion to the clerk, again, within 30 days of today's date. Okay, we have Mr. Loy. You can unmute, please. Mr. Loy. Madam Clerk, he's on the 10:30 docket. Mr. Loy, I can let's see. No, I can't do it. Okay, Mr. Loy.
Yes, sir.
Did you hear everything I've explained so far?
Yes, sir.
All right, your offer is a withhold of adjudication. The withhold means no points. You would be ordered to pay a $60 fine plus court costs. So the total is $163. What would you like to do?
Just to make sure, sir, you said no points with 160 court costs. Is that correct?
Close. You are correct. No points. The total is 163.
Oh, yes, sir.
That's the total. So it's not that plus cost. It's $60 fine plus a 103 court cost for a total of 163.
Yes, sir.
So you accept?
Yes, sir. Thank you.
All right, so ordered. Yes, sir. Thank you, Mr. Loy. So you're done. You're free to sign off and contact the clerk, okay?
Thank you very much, sir.
Yes, sir. Have a good day. All right, I've got someone here, a gentleman in a gray shirt listed as iPhone. You can unmute, please. What is your name, sir?
Kevin.
Kevin who?
Romero.
Kevin Romero. Madam Clerk, I see him on the 10 o'clock docket. Mr. Romero, have you heard everything I've explained so far?
Yeah, I have.
Your offer then is an adjudication of guilt. That means if you accept the offer, you will get points. $350 fine plus court costs and a 4-hour course.
So how much will it be in total? Like
$453.
$453? Yeah, I accept that.
All right, so you're going to contact the clerk right away, okay?
How do I do that? I'm kind of like.
You just Google call your clerk, Collier County Clerk of Courts.
Okay.
All right. I
All right.
believe,
Yeah,
Madam Clerk, Madam Clerk, your website is collierclerk.org? Or
I
is it
believe it's .org.
.org? Call your clerk. Okay, that's how you contact them.
Okay.
Okay, so ordered. Thank you, Mr. Romero.
Thank you.
Yes, sir. Have a good day.
All right, you too.
Thank you. Okay, I have someone listed as owner. You can unmute, please. Good morning, ma'am. What is your name, please?
My name is Mary Costa, C-O-S-T-A.
All right, Ms. Costa, you're here on the 10 o'clock docket. This is an improper lane change with a crash. And because there was a crash involved in this case, this has to be a hearing. So I'm not in a position to make you an offer today. I am able to give you a hearing date. Madam Clerk, is that still May 19th at 1:30?
Correct.
All right, so you will have a hearing on May 19th at 1:30, and you will receive the Zoom login credentials just like you did today, okay?
May 19th at what time?
At what time? I'm sorry, I want to write that down.
That's okay, May 19th at 1:30.
And that will also be a Zoom?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. All right.
All right, thank you, ma'am. Have a good day.
Thank you.
All right. Julie Morrison?
Yes, I'm here with on behalf of my son, Bailey Judge, who's we're on the
his last name?
Judge.
Oh, Bailey Judge. I see you on the 10:30 docket.
Yeah, we're on the 10:30. I just got on early to make sure I could get on.
Okay, and that's fine. We can take you early. Your son's case, he's got 2 tickets. As you know, one of them is careless driving with a crash. According to the citation, that also is with injury. And so just like the previous lady, I can't give you an offer at this point. You've got to come back for a hearing. So your hearing would also be May 19th at 1:30. Do you have any questions about that?
Well, we do. We don't know what the injury was, or how do we get more information on this?
By going to a hearing. That's exactly why we have to have a hearing. I can't make you an offer when I don't know either. So that's what a hearing is all about. That's where the facts come out. So the officer would be present. Anyone else who are, the witnesses, anyone who's injured may also be present. That's how we find out more about it. And that's exactly why we have to have a hearing.
Oh, okay. So May 19th at 1:30?
Correct.
Is that, and is it the same Zoom link, or will we receive more documentation?
You'll receive more documentation with the Zoom login credentials.
Okay, great. Thank you so much.
Thank you both. All right. Have a good day. Okay. Miss Costa, you're free to sign off. Your hearing is concluded. You're free to sign off, okay? You should have a red button that says end.
Yeah, we were just listening to the other proceedings, that's all.
Oh, okay. Well, you're welcome to stay as well. That's completely up to you.
Thank you, sir.
All right. Madam Clerk, I've got 5 other folks in the waiting room. I'll admit them now.
Okay.
Good morning, folks. Please make sure your audio is on mute until I call your name. Please put your audio on mute. Once everyone is connected, And once your audio is on mute, I will start calling cases.
Hello?
Good morning, folks. Please make sure your audio is on mute until I call your case. I've got a couple of folks, looks like they might have a connection problem. So let me make some preliminary remarks to the rest of you, and then we'll get started. This is traffic court. This is a pre-trial docket. Pre-trial, that means this is not your trial. This is not a hearing. So I want you to understand that I will not be deciding whether you are guilty or not guilty today. That's not the purpose of the hearing. The purpose of the hearing today is for me to make you an offer that you might accept. If you accept the offer, then of course this is an opportunity to resolve your case early without having to come back for a trial. Of course, you don't have to accept the offer if you don't want to. If you choose not to accept the offer, then just tell me that and we will give you another court date that will be your hearing. At the hearing, the officer who wrote the ticket will be present. You will both have the opportunity to make statements or comments to the judge, and the judge will decide whether you're guilty or not guilty. If I make you an offer that you accept, the offer may include a fine, for example, $150, just as an example, and the offer would also include court costs. It's important for you to know what that means so that you can make an informed decision. Court costs equals $103. So in our example, if the fine is $150 and court costs equal $103, then the total would be $253. If you accept the offer, you would have to contact the Collier County Clerk of Courts within 30 days of today's date to do one of two things: to either pay that off in full or enter into a payment plan. If you want to make monthly payments beyond 30 days, that's perfectly fine, but you have to set up that payment plan within 30 days of today's date. Your offer may also include driving school. If I order you to take driving school, understand that's something you do online. That is not in person. And when you call the clerk, they can tell you which websites you can use to take that traffic school. Okay, we have Nathaniel Holt. You can unmute, please. Mr. Holt, can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
All right, Mr. Holt, Madam Clerk is on the 10 o'clock docket. Mr. Holt, have you heard everything I've explained so far?
Yes, sir.
All right, your offer is an adjudication of guilt. That means you will get points on your record if you accept this offer. You would also be ordered to pay a $400 fine plus court costs, so the total is $503, and you would be ordered to take an 8-hour driving school. Do you understand your options today?
Would the driving school reduce the amount of points on my license at all, or?
No, sir.
No, okay. How many points would be going on my license?
4.
Okay. I'll accept.
Okay, Mr. Holt, you know you need to contact the clerk right away.
The Collier clerk?
Exactly.
Alrighty.
Okay, so ordered. So we are done with your case, Mr. Holt. You're free to sign off. Thank you, sir, and have a good day.
Yeah, you too.
Thank you. Okay, Nancy Obregon Suarez, you can unmute, please.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yes, ma'am, I can hear you. Good morning.
Good morning.
Madam Clerk, she is on the 10:30 docket. Miss Obregon Suarez, have you heard everything I've explained so far?
Yes, sir.
And do you understand everything?
Yes, sir.
So I'll make you an offer. You tell me if you want to accept it or not. The offer for your speeding ticket is a withhold of adjudication. The withhold means no points. You would have to pay a $300 fine plus court costs and attend a 4-hour driving course.
Yes, I'll accept.
Okay, so you understand you need to contact the clerk right away, right?
Yes.
Okay, so ordered. Thank you, ma'am. You are free to sign off and have a good day.
Thank you. Have a good day.
All right. Madam Clerk, are you good?
Yes, I'm good. Thank you, Your Honor.
All right. Okay, Wayne's Galaxy A20. Sir, what is your name, please? Can you hear me? I cannot hear you. You can work on that. Let me call another case. Marquise Green. Sir, can you hear me?
Yes, sir. I can hear you.
All right. Good morning, Mr.
Yes,
Green. Madam Clerk, Mr. Green is on the 9:30 docket. Mr. Green, did you hear me?
No, that's why I
everything?
accidentally fucking spilled your shit. But you know, it's always my fault, right? I'm the only one fucking.
Hold on. Jorge Ortiz. I can hear all of that, and this is a court proceeding. Please don't talk like that. Put yourself on mute until I call your case. Mr. Green, did you hear everything I explained earlier about your options today?
Not about my options personally, but yes, I heard you earlier.
Well, in general, everybody's got the same options.
Yeah.
Generally, what I mean is I'm going to make you an offer and you can either accept it or not. Those are your
Yes,
options.
yes, sir.
Okay. And your offer is an adjudication of guilt, which means if you accept the offer, you will get points. You would be ordered to pay a $300 fine plus court costs. So the total is $403 with points, which you can accept or set it for hearing.
I accept.
All right. Mr. Green, did you also hear me explain that you need to contact the clerk right away to either pay or enter a payment plan?
Yes.
Okay, very good. Thank you, Mr. Green. That's it for today. Have a good
Thank
day.
you. You too.
Yes, sir. Thank you. Okay, Wayne's Galaxy A20. Can you hear me? Your video is frozen and I cannot hear you. If you can hear me and you are Wayne's Galaxy A20, you may need to sign off and then sign back in with the same Zoom login credentials. Right now we're having some problems. Jorge Ivan Ortiz.
Yes, sir.
Okay, Mr. Ortiz, you are on the 10 o'clock docket. Have you heard me explain your options earlier?
No, sir.
All right, well, you're here for a pretrial docket on a traffic ticket. This is a non-criminal traffic docket. I'm about to make you an offer on your speeding ticket, and then you can either accept the offer or not. If you choose not to accept the offer, then I'll set your case for a hearing. Do you understand that?
Yes, sir.
So let me make you the offer. I'll answer any questions you might have about the offer, and then you tell me if you want to accept or not. Your offer is an adjudication of guilt. If you accept the offer, you will get points on your record. $250 fine plus court costs. Court costs equal 103, so the total would be $353, and you would have to attend a 4-hour driving school, which you do online. Do you have any questions about the offer?
No, sir.
All right, what would you like to do?
I'll take that offer out.
All right, so you need to contact the clerk right away to either pay that in full or enter into a payment plan, okay?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so ordered. Thank you, Mr. Ortiz. Have a good day.
You too. Thank you.
Thank you. Yes, sir. Okay, Wayne's Galaxy A20. Can you hear me? Wayne's Galaxy A20. Sir, I can see you. Can't hear you. Can you hear me? All right, Madam Clerk, looks like Wayne is still having some technical difficulties. So we will be in recess until our 10:30 docket starts in 9 minutes. So I'm not going to end the meeting. I'm just going to put myself on mute and stop the video. I'll be right here, and then I'll come back in 9 minutes at 10:30.
Okay, sounds good.
Thank you. Okay, Madam Clerk, can you hear me?
Yes, sorry.
All right, very good. That's okay. Wayne's Galaxy A20, can you hear me? No. All right, I've got 3 folks in the waiting room. Good morning, folks. Please make sure your audio is on mute until I call your name. Please put your audio on mute. And then once everyone is connected and everyone is on mute, we will begin. Please put your audio on mute until I call your case. All right, welcome to traffic court. This is a pre-trial docket. So this is not a trial, this is pre-trial. So it's important to understand that I will not be deciding whether you are guilty or not guilty today. That's not the purpose of our hearing. The purpose of the hearing today is for me to make you an offer, which you can either accept or not. It's completely up to you. So this is an opportunity for you to resolve your case without coming back for a hearing. So I will make you an offer that will likely include a fine. Let me give you an example so you understand how this works. Let's say the fine is $150. Your offer will also include court costs. Court costs equal $103. So the total, a $150 fine plus court costs $103, the total is $253. If you accept the offer that I make to you, then you would have to contact the Collier County Clerk of Courts within 30 days of today's date to do one of 2 things, to either pay that off in its entirety or to enter into a payment plan. You can certainly make monthly payments if you want to make monthly payments beyond 30 days, but you have to set that up within 30 days of today's date. Your offer may also include driving school or traffic school. If I order you to take a driving school class, then that is done online. That is not done in person. You would complete that online and send in your certificate of completion to the clerk within 30 days of today's date. Again, if you don't choose not to accept the offer, then just tell me that and we'll give you another court date for a hearing. All right, so I have Tony Caliendo. Sir, can you unmute, please? Good morning, sir. Did you hear everything I just explained?
Yes, I did.
And do you understand?
Yes, I do.
Okay, so I'm going to make you an offer. I'll answer any questions you might have about it, and then you can tell me if you want to accept it or not. Excuse me, this is a speeding ticket. Your offer is an adjudication of guilt. So if you accept the offer, you will receive points. You would have to pay a $350 fine plus court costs and attend a 4-hour course. Do you understand all that?
Yes, I do.
What would you like to do?
Does that course get rid of the points? Does the course get rid of points?
The course does not get rid of the points. That's just something you have to do in addition to receiving the points.
Is driving school an option? Is driving school an option?
Driving school is not an option. You can accept that offer or go to hearing.
Accept it. I'll accept it.
All right, so do you understand you need to contact the Collier clerk right away to pay or enter into a payment plan?
Yes.
Okay, so ordered, Mr. Caliendo. Thank you, sir, and you are free to log off. Have a good day.
You too.
Okay, I've got someone here with a number 357980. Can you unmute, please?
Yes.
Sir, what is your name?
Samuel Jean Baptiste.
Samuel Jean Baptiste, also on the 1030 docket. Mr. Jean Baptiste, did you hear everything I've explained so far?
Yes.
All right, and do you understand?
Yes.
All right, your offer is an adjudication of guilt, which means you would get points if you accept this offer. You would have to pay a $250 fine plus court costs and a 4-hour course. You understand that?
Yes.
What would you like to do?
That's the one. So that's the only offer?
That's the only offer today, but that's not your only option. Remember, you can also go to a hearing.
Okay. I think I'll go to a hearing.
All right, so your hearing is May 19th at 1:30. So that'll be in the afternoon, and it is on Zoom just like today.
Is the same meeting ID?
No, sir, you'll receive new information with the new Zoom information, okay?
Okay.
Okay, that's it, Mr. Jean Baptiste. Thank you, sir. Have a good day. Okay, I have someone listed as iPhone. Sir, can you unmute, please?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, good morning. What is your name, please?
Roger Monge Alexander Vasquez.
All right, and I do see your case here on the 10:30 docket. Sir, have you heard everything I've explained so far?
Yes, Your Honor.
So your ticket, you are cited with a speeding ticket and under a particular statute that is 50 miles per hour or more in excess of the speed limit. And it's important for you to understand that if you're cited for driving 50 miles per hour or more over the speed limit for the first time, your first offense, the law requires a $1,000 fine. Did you know that?
No, sir. I thought it was on.
So that's
Continue.
well, it's even on your ticket. You see on your ticket it says a $1,000 fine, and it goes up if you do it again. So I wanted to explain that to you so you understand the offer for you is an adjudication of guilt, which means you will receive points if you accept the offer, a $1,000 fine plus costs, and a 12-hour driving school. So you can accept that, or we can set it for hearing.
And that's because the first time it's 1,000. I thought it was only.
Correct.
Yeah. Thought the fine would double if it was only if a construction zone or it was on the I-75.
No, it's you're cited for driving in excess of 50 miles per hour over the speed limit. And so that's definitely for the first offense, that's $1,000 for the first offense. If you do it again, it goes up to $2,500. If you do it again, it's a felony. So that's the offer. You can accept it or not. Would you rather set it for a hearing?
Can you repeat the offer again?
Sure. The offer is an adjudication of guilt, which means you get points on your record.
Do you know how much points?
I believe it's 4 points. You have to pay a $1,000 fine plus court costs and attend a 12-hour course, which you do online. What would you like to do?
I would go to a hearing.
All right, your hearing is May 19th at 1:30, and you'll receive the Zoom login credentials in the mail. Any questions about that?
May 19th. All right. It was May 19th at 1:30?
Yes, sir, at 1:30. Yes, sir.
All right, sir.
Okay, thank you, sir. Have a good day.
You too.
Thank you. All right, Wayne's Galaxy A20. Can you hear me? Wayne's Galaxy A20. Can you hear me?
Hello, good morning.
Hello, is this, who is this, please?
This is Diana Ceron. I'm sorry.
Miss Cerrone, on the 9:30 docket, you've got 2 tickets.
Yes.
One ticket is for driving on a suspended license, which I know you fixed.
Yes.
When I checked your record yesterday, you still have a valid license, right?
Yes, I fixed the problem with the
Okay,
license here. Yes.
And this is 21 TR 4681. Because you fixed it, that ticket is dismissed.
Okay, perfect. Thank you, officer. Thank you. Oh, no.
Your second ticket is speeding. The offer on that ticket is a withhold of adjudication, which means you do not get any points. You would be ordered to pay a $200 fine plus court costs within 30 days. You would either pay that in full, or you could set up a payment plan with the clerk if you choose to accept the offer, or we can set this case for a hearing. It's up to you.
I don't know, officer. Your Honor, I don't know if okay, I made a rage payment.
Does that mean you want to accept the offer?
Yes, I will accept the offer because I don't know.
Okay, that's fine. You just need to contact the clerk to make the payment plan, okay?
Okay.
All right, so ordered. Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you. Thank you.
All right.
Bye-bye. Thank you.
Bye-bye. Have a good day. Okay, Wayne's Galaxy A20. The only person we have left, no one in the waiting room, no one in the courtroom. Wayne, can you hear me? I cannot hear you. Wayne, if you can hear me, then you may need to try to log out and log back in. You're having some technical difficulties. But if I can't hear you, we can't proceed. In the meantime, Madam Clerk, we've got quite a few folks who have not appeared. And that 10:30 docket was our last one of the morning. So let's go back through it, starting on our 9:30 docket. The first one I show that we have left is Dania Calix, 21 TR 3745. And I'm going to review the file for notice. This is a mandatory hearing. I see the notice for today's date, 3/31 at 9:30, was mailed to the defendant on March 15th. It's now 10:43, and as I said, there are no defendants in the courtroom with me. There is no one in the waiting room, and other than Wayne's Galaxy, we have no one else in the meeting. The notice went to the same address that appears on her driving, or the citation rather. Which is the same address on her motor vehicle record. So she was properly noticed. She's not here. Again, she was noticed. It's been an hour and 15 minutes since the start of her docket. So this is a D6 based on her FTA. I'm not setting them for hearing. It's just a D6. Okay. All right. Next on the 9:30 docket, we have Madison Myers, 21 TR 7452. I'm reviewing this case for notice. There is a notice to appear in the court file for today's date, 3/31/21 at 9:30. Again, it's 10:44. She's not here. She's not in the waiting room. This was mailed to the defendant on 3/16. It was mailed to the same address that appears on the citation and the same address that appears on her motor vehicle record. So she was properly noticed and she's not here. This is a D6 based on her FTA. Next on the 9:30 docket, we have Michael Orphanicus, 21 TR 7235, reviewing the file for notice. Excuse me. There is an order for a, no. There is the minutes in the file says order for continuance. It's not an order for a continuance. It's a motion handwritten from the defendant indicating that he is unavailable today. So, Madam Clerk, this case will be continued to another morning docket on April 14th. Next is Nicholas Spicer, 21 TR 7451, also on the 9:30 docket. I'm reviewing the file for notice. There is a notice to appear in the court file for today's date, 3/31 at 9:30. It's now 10:46. Defendant is not physically present, nor is anyone in the waiting room. This was mailed to the defendant on 3/15. The notice was. and it was mailed to the same address that appears on the citation, which is the same address, the same mailing address that appears on his motor vehicle record. So Mr. Spicer was properly noticed and he's not here. Madam Clerk, this is a D6 based on his FTA.
Okay.
Next on the 9:30 docket, and last on the 9:30 docket, Anthony Witherspoon, reviewing the file for notice in 21 TR 7357. There is a notice to appear in the court file for today's date, 3/31 at 9:30, that was mailed to the defendant and returned, unable to forward. The address on the notice is the same address on his motor vehicle record and the same address on the citation. So if he's moved, it's incumbent upon him to keep us posted with a current address. In fact, it's the law to keep the Department of Highway Safety Motor Vehicles up to date with a correct mailing address. So the notice to appear was sufficient for purposes of today, and he's not here. And again, the waiting room is still empty, as is the courtroom. So this is a D6 based on his FTA.
Okay.
And that completes our 9:30 docket.
Correct.
Moving on to the FTAs, 10 o'clock, quite a few. Starting with Alicia Alonzo Rojas, 21 TR 7478. I am reviewing the file for notice. There's a notice to appear in the court file for today's date at 10 o'clock. It's now 10:48. Defendant's not here, not in the waiting room. And this was mailed to the same address that appears on the citation, which is the same address that appears on his motor vehicle record. So the notice in this case was sufficient. This is a D6 based on his FTA. Next is Minal Baez, 21 TR 7504, reviewing the file for notice. There is a notice to appear in the court file for today's date at 10 o'clock. It's now 10:49. This was mailed to the defendant and returned, unable to forward. The address on the notice is the same address on his motor vehicle record and the same address on the citation. Again, he has a legal obligation to keep DHSMV up to date when he moves. So our notice was sufficient. This is a D6 based on his FTA.
Okay.
Shalisha Brown, 21 TR 3969. And I'm reviewing that file for notice. There is a notice to appear in the court file for today's date, 10 o'clock. It's now 10:50. This was mailed to the defendant. The address on the notice, this looks like it might be a different address. Let's see. The address on the, it's interesting, the envelope has an address that is different than the address on the notice, the actual notice. And it's also a different address than what's on her motor vehicle record and on the citation. So I'm not convinced that we've sent notice to the proper location. Do you see those discrepancies as well, Madam Clerk?
I see those, but I see another line of returned mail that was sent to 1144 Hickok Lane.
I see that as well. That was for a previous hearing.
Mm-hmm.
Right, that was for February 20. I'm not sure why did we change addresses? I don't know. Do you have any idea where the new address came from? It's a South 3rd Street.
That I I don't see. I'm not sure where that would have.
I don't see where that came from either. We have the motor vehicle record has two different addresses. It has a residential address on Hickok Lane and a mailing address, which is a P.O. box. Can we renotice this to both addresses for a morning docket?
Yes, I'm going to also take a look in the case and see if maybe she called and we put it in our notes.
Okay.
Okay, so she did call. She called March 16th to state that her new address was 418 South 3rd Street.
She called on what day?
March 16th.
So this, and that's the same date the notice went out, so it went to the address that she provided. That's a note that you have in there?
Correct.
All right, well, then that was provided to an address she requested.
Mm-hmm.
So the notice is sufficient. This is a D6 based on her FTA.
Okay.
Thank you. Okay, next on the 10 o'clock docket is Justin Elwell, 21 TR 7400. I am reviewing the file for notice. There is a notice to appear in the court file for Mr. Elwell for today's date, 3/31 at 10 o'clock. It's now 2:53. This notice was not returned. It was mailed to the same address that appears on his citation, which is the same address that appears on his motor vehicle record. So Mr. Elwell was properly noticed and he's not here. This is a D6 based on his FTA. Mr. I'm not sure his last name, Wayne's Galaxy? He keeps dropping in and out, Madam Clerk. Still can't get a hold of him, so we'll continue. If we come across, oh, I do see there's a Wayne later on in the 10 o'clock docket. I imagine that's who this gentleman is. So we'll keep going here on Rosina Joseph, 21 TR 7500. I'm reviewing this file for notice. There's a notice to appear in the court file for Rosina Joseph for today's date, 10 o'clock. It's now 10:54. No one is in the courtroom. No one other than Wayne's Galaxy is in the waiting room or in the meeting. Actually, the waiting room is empty. All right, and this notice was mailed to same address that appears on the citation, which is the same address that appears as her mailing address on her motor vehicle record. And so notice was proper and sufficient in this case. This is a D6 based on her FTA. Next on the 10 o'clock docket is Fidel Osorio Portez, 21 TR 7589. Wayne's Galaxy, can you hear me? All right, back to Osorio Portez. There is a notice to appear in the court file for today's date, 3/31 at 10 o'clock. This was mailed to the defendant March 17th, not returned. This was mailed to same address that appears on the citation, which is the same address on his motor vehicle record. So Mr. Osorio Portez was properly noticed. He's not here. This is a D6 based on his FTA. Next is Mark Romu, 21 TR 7474. This gentleman entered a conditional plea, which was denied. His conditional plea looks like was entered March 23rd. The judge who denied it to her credit indicates in the order the case remains scheduled for March 31. But this was done on March 26th, Madam Clerk. We're going to give the defendant the benefit of the doubt. There might be some confusion about his obligation to still appear, and he may not have received this order denying his conditional plea in time. So I do not want to issue a D6 in this case. I'd rather continue this to another morning docket. Is that still April 14th?
Correct.
Okay, so Mr. Ramu continued to the morning docket, April 14th.
Okay.
Next, we have Maria Valle Caballero, 21 TR 7621. I'm reviewing the file for notice. There is a notice to appear in the court file for today's date at 10 o'clock. This was mailed to the defendant 3/17/21. The notice was not returned, and it was mailed to the same address that appears on the citation, which is the same address on her motor vehicle record. So she was properly noticed and she's not here. This is a D6 based on her FTA. Wayne's Galaxy, can you hear me?
Yes.
Excellent. Mr. Well, what is your last name?
Zipke, Z-I-P-K-E.
Mr. Zipke, all right, you are here on the 10 o'clock docket. This is a pre-trial for non-criminal traffic infractions. I'm about to make you an offer. I'll answer any questions you have about that offer, and then you have to make a decision. You can either accept the offer or not. You certainly do not have to accept the offer if you don't want to. If you choose not to accept the offer, then we'll give you another court date for a hearing. At the hearing, the officer will appear. You'll both have an opportunity to testify to the judge if you want to, and then the judge will determine whether you're guilty or not. Do you understand everything I've explained so far?
Yes.
So the offer, I'll tell you that and then answer your questions about it. The offer for your speeding ticket is an adjudication of guilt. That means you would receive points if you accept this offer. You would have to pay a fine of $400 plus court costs in the amount of $103. So the total is $503. If you accept the offer, you would contact the clerk within 30 days. You should contact the clerk right away to either pay that in full or to enter into a monthly payment plan. And you would be required to complete an 8-hour driver improvement course, which is done online. If you accept the offer, you would do that within 30 days and provide a certificate of completion to the clerk. Do you have any questions about the offer or your options?
Yeah. The offer was, what? Can you say the offer again? I thought you only made one.
Made one what?
You said make my options, but I only heard one option.
Well, your options are to accept the offer or request a hearing. So those are your two options. And the offer
okay.
You want me to repeat the offer?
Yes, please.
All right. It's an adjudication of guilt, $400 fine, court costs, and an 8-hour driving school.
All right. Now, I got something in the mail, and it said that I could either, if I take the classes, that my fine would go down, and I wouldn't get no points on my license.
All right. Well, you've elected a hearing, so you're here, and these are your only two options.
I didn't get the letter until yesterday.
Okay.
I moved from the place that I was when I got the ticket. I moved to another place, and I guess they sent it to my former address, and then people that I was living with sent it to me yesterday.
Okay.
And I called the clerk. Huh?
Go ahead.
What was that? I called the clerk yesterday and asked her when I had a court date because I didn't get nothing in the mail. And
okay. I'm glad you did
when
that.
I got off the phone with her, I called my previous residence, and they said they had it and forgot to tell me about it.
Okay. Well, I understand
So now
all of that, but that doesn't change your options here today. Your options are the same two options I explained to you earlier. You don't have to accept the offer.
All right, so now if I don't accept the offer and I go to court,
then it'll be
what
a
could
hearing.
happen?
Well, the officer will be present who wrote the ticket. The officer will
Right.
testify to the judge. You'll have a chance to testify to the judge if you have anything you want to say. And then the judge will listen to the evidence and decide whether you're guilty or not guilty. The judge might find you not guilty, in which case you don't have to pay anything. You don't get points. You don't have to go to the school. The case is over. Or the judge might find you guilty. If the judge finds you guilty, I say the judge, Madam Clerk, am I the judge on May 16th?
It's actually Judge Brown.
So it's not me. The judge, if the judge finds you guilty, then the judge will decide what sentence to impose. That's what happens at a hearing.
All right, no, I understand that, but now, what would the worst sentence be? I mean, if you found me guilty, what am I looking at? I mean,
well, I can't speak for the presiding judge. It's up to the presiding judge, who's Madam Clerk just confirmed won't be me. And so,
no, I mean, what's the worst case scenario if I'm found guilty? That's what I'm asking.
well, the judge could sentence you to or could impose a $500 fine, could order you to do a 12-hour driving school plus the court costs. You could be convicted, which is the same thing here. Your offer is also a conviction. So the fine could go up, the school could go up, or it may go down. It may be better for you if there are mitigating circumstances.
Right. Well, that's what I'm trying to get at. So now, what do I gotta do if I plead not guilty right now? You
don't have to do anything. You just have to tell me you want a hearing, and then I'll say fine. I'll give you the hearing date.
All right, I'll take a hearing date.
All right. It is May 19th at 1:30. That'll be in front of Judge Brown, I believe Madam Clerk just said. That is on Zoom, just like this, and you will receive the Zoom login credentials in the mail. So if you have any issues with your mailing address, well, do you want to provide us with your mailing address so you don't have any problems with that?
Yeah. Are you ready?
Yep, go ahead.
27846 Matheson Street, or Matheson Avenue, Bonita Springs, Apartment A.
Could he spell the street name for me?
Excuse me?
Could you spell the street name for me?
Matheson.
Perfect. Thank you.
Okay, so that's it, Mr. Zipke. Thank you, sir, and good luck to you.
All right, thank you.
All right, bye-bye.
Bye.
All right, Madam Clerk, we do have one case left on our 10:30 docket, which was an FTA, Blanca Vergara Gomez, 21 TR 7595. I'm reviewing that case for notice. I see, the first thing I see here, another conditional plea of no contest. So I accept her plea of no contest. The sentence is a withhold of adjudication, $300 fine plus court costs, and a 4-hour course. And that completes our 10 o'clock docket. Madam Clerk, do you need a minute on that sentence?
No, I'm okay. Thank you.
All right, so we move on to our 10:30 docket. The first no-show is Anthony Felix, 21 TR 7774. I'm reviewing that file for notice. There is a notice to appear in the court file for today's date, 3/31 at 10:30. It's now 11:05. This was mailed to the defendant 3/18 and not returned. The notice was mailed to the same address that appears on the citation. Which is the same address on his on his motor vehicle record. So the notice was sufficient and proper in this case. Just for the record, nobody is in the courtroom, no one is in the waiting room, and no one else is in the meeting with us. So he is not here. This is a D6 based on his FTA. Next is Khalif Gerard, 21 TR 7843. And I'm reviewing this file for notice. There's a notice to appear in the court file for today's date, 10/30. It's now 11:06. This was mailed to the defendant on 3/18. The notice was not returned. It was mailed to the same address that appears on the citation. And again, not returned. So notice was proper. In this case, he's not here. This is a D6 based on his FTA. Next is Maria Schneider, 21 TR 7738. I'm reviewing the file for notice. There's a notice to appear in the court file that was mailed to the defendant on March 18th for today's date, 3/31/10/30. It's 11:07. She's not physically present, not in the meeting, not in the waiting room. This notice was mailed to the same address that appears on the citation, which is the same address on her motor vehicle record. So she was properly noticed and she is not here. This is a D6 based on her FTA. Last case on the 10/30 docket, James Stoneburner filed an affidavit of defense pleading not guilty. Madam Clerk, let's set this case for a hearing on May 19th at 1:30. And I believe that completes our morning docket.
Okay.
You agree?
I do.
All right, thank you very much. So we are in recess. I'll be back at 1:30.
Okay, I'll see you then.
See you then. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Thank you. Bye.